So we are discussing female fitness myths, and I'm going to go into a little more detail of what we discussed last week, and that is Pilates is not strength training, and we are not ranking exercise and saying one is better than the other. What we're doing is defining terms, okay? It's just a definition. So even if you've done a 10-week course as a personal trainer, they divide, your sets and reps into categories, right? So strength training is your 1 to 6 reps, 5 sets. Hypertrophy training, which is muscle growth, is 8 to 12 reps, 10 sets. These are examples, don't take me too literally. And then endurance resistance training is, 15 reps plus. So that's something you may not have learned in your Pilates certification. So I want to go into more detail because, many of you are passionate about Pilates, and there's been some, I've triggered some people, and that's okay. Let's have a conversation without getting personal or aggressive. But this is something I'll also come up against in, my female clients, where they believe because an exercise is hard, physically hard, they're having trouble, that means it's heavy. It's still not heavy lifting. They also think because they're getting better at something, they're getting stronger, which is true, but it's still not heavy lifting. They think because they feel a burn, right? Like they're doing 300 clams a day and they feel a burn, that means they're strength training. It's still not strength training. So I can see where that logic comes from, but it doesn't meet the definition. Now, there's a lot of interest in heavy lifting and strength training, particularly in peri and postmenopausal women at the moment. That's great. But what we need to do is we need to be really clear on what that means for us and for our clients. And what that means, when Dr. Stacey Sims, one of the leading researchers in women's physiology, Dr. Vonda Wright, she's a leading researcher in women's longevity, when Dr. Lisa Mosconi, leading researcher in women's brains, etc., I could go on and go on. When they're talking about strength training, when they're talking about heavy lifting, the definition of what they're talking about is reps of 6 or less, okay? So that doesn't mean, if it's a weight you can lift 10 times, but you stop at 6, still not heavy lifting. The weight needs to be heavy enough that you can only lift it a maximum of 6 times, and then you come back and you do 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 6 reps. So your repetitions are how many times in a row you perform an exercise. Your sets are the number of times you come back to that exercise and perform those repetitions. So I know that can get a little bit confusing, but I'm not saying Pilates is bad. There is definitely a place for it. Pilates could make you better at lifting heavy. So likewise in the gym, if you're doing body pump or you're doing sets of 10, not bad, great. Any movement is good movement. If it brings you joy, even better. If you love it, even better. But if you want to engage in strength training, as per the hype on social media, as per definition of what these doctors are telling us to do, particularly in peri and postmenopause, then that means heavy lifting, and that means 6 reps or less, okay? And having said that, any level of resistance training is good, okay? Any level is good, particularly if it brings you joy, particularly if it makes you happy. So if you love your Pilates and you hate weightlifting, by all means, probably doing the Pilates is better for you. It's just not meeting that definition that these health professionals are talking about. That's it. That's all right? So if you have any questions, as always, you can direct message me. Please try to be respectful. I don't take it personally, but it's not a big deal if we disagree. Okay? Have a good Wednesday. I'll see you next week.